What is the word, everybody? This is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, with another reaction video for the Mick and Mike Love podcast. Join us Sunday at 8:15 p.m. for some more exciting news, football. We're going to talk more about my fantasy and much, much more. November 15th, the big fight that most of us saw with some difficulties because there was a little trouble with the stream on Netflix. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Jake Paul beat the 58-year-old former world heavyweight champion by Mike Tyson by unanimous decision in a highly anticipated, I guess, heavyweight bout, even though I'm not really sure how heavy Jake Paul is. Is he actually a natural heavyweight, guys? Let me know in the comment section. But anyway, MMA and heavyweight boxer Frances Ngannou, world class boxer, world class fighter, super heavyweight, about 6'4" about 240 pounds, I believe he fights at. Anyway, he had thoughts on how he felt the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was, or how he felt Mike Tyson looked, and he was pretty impressed with Mike. I actually believe the fight was actually real. I don't believe it was rigged. I'm not on that boat, not just yet. Even though there is a lot of evidence to the contrary, a lot of evidence that this might have been WWE, but it would be ashamed if it was, because there was two other fights on that card that was exciting. That the welterweight championship fight, and the two girls beat the hell out of each other. The two girls tore the roof off that joint, didn't they? But anyway, let's listen to what Frances Ngannou has to say about Ngannou has to say about how he felt Mike Tyson looked during the fight, and how he feels about him possibly stepping into the ring with Jake Paul. Take it away, Francis.
To see Mike there in that situation, like knowing Mike, what he can do, and see him there with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul, like, hey man, like that that side just hurt me. Although, like, you have to give it to Mike, man. This is 58 years old.
Yeah, it was kind of tough to watch Mike kind of struggle to catch up with the guy. Especially if you're a Mike Tyson fan and remember Mike, if you're old enough to remember Mike in his prime, he was an animal, an animal.
Mike Tyson, that been doing this sport for since 12 years old, I believe. And
I
then
believe he was 13,
to
something like
be
that.
able
Yeah,
to still be able to like stand up on
fair
his
use.
own at this age, I think is impressive. And stand up against a young 27 years old guy, even though I would say he wouldn't be at that level, but wasn't that much a threat for Mike, though. Like, you have to give it up for him, to him.
Yeah, since I'm saying the fight is rigged, I am impressed with him even being in the ring and not getting terribly hurt by a 27-year-old. Mike was actually in incredible shape. Usually, when you get that old, when you get that age, you don't see your cuts like that. They be there for a 58-year-old athlete. You still have all the muscle there, but it's hard to see. You could actually see some of Mike's definition still. I was pretty impressed with that. Mike trained very hard and got in pretty good shape, and was actually at his fighting weight during the fight. And this guy, what was just hospitalized for, I believe, a kidney infection back this summer. So it was so like Mike said, it was very impressive to see him actually go through this and come out, pretty much unscathed. Because it's hard for me to see for me to believe a 58-year-old athlete could beat a 27-year-old athlete. And Jake Paul is actually an athlete now and is a trained boxer. He's been training for a few years now. And actually believe he's actually ready for some real boxing competition. Go ahead, Francis.
Standing up by his own at that age, and go uh, like over 15 minutes with a young guy. Man, that was impressive.
We saw what you said joking
Now they're going to ask him how he feels about maybe a future fight with Jake Paul.
around that you would smack him around the next time you see him. He responded, "Is it that crazy to think he just fought at heavyweight? Is there any scenario where there could be a Francis Ngannou heavyweight
No, no,
boxing
no, no,
match?"
no, 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 no. Come on, don't be silly, Steve.
You get
Give me
people
like
people are bringing it up though. He did fight at
no, no,
heavyweight.
no, no. Maybe if we put maybe we put the two Paul brother in the arena and in the cage, lock the cage, and then yeah, maybe there's something to do there. Come on, like
He said maybe if they put the two Paul brothers in a cage and lock the cage, maybe they could do something like that. But he, I don't think, believes that Jake is actually ready for him quite yet. I mean, this is a guy who is 39 and, pretty much in his prime. And he would be Jake's toughest fight if they decide to fight. But like Jake said, Jake Paul right now is the bag for boxing. So whoever he fights is going to draw some money, so he can pretty much pick and choose. He doesn't need any of these guys, and I'm sure most of them, since he is the bag, if he called them out, will happily do it. Now Jake says he wants to be a world champion in 2 years, so he's going to have to start stepping up the competition a little bit. Since we all believe that Jake can fight, I think Jake can fight. Um, Now it's time for him to maybe start fighting a few contenders and some more full time boxers. Maybe it's time for him to test himself against, you know, some of those guys. Go ahead, Francis.
like respect me a little bit, Steve.
Yeah,
A
respect
lot
me a
of
little
people
bit.
tune into these fights because they want to, you like him or you hate him. People want to see him get knocked out, and there could be a lot of money in a fight with you.
Oh.
Yeah, no, 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 that's kind of money.
You respect what they're doing, though, right? You respect what Jake's doing.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously, you
hey,
do PFL.
You gotta kind of respect what Jake is doing because he's putting the boxer back into the boxer's hands as far as the promotions back into the boxer's hands where you're not really getting ripped off. And I actually think if he comes and tells you that he wants to fight you, Francis, maybe you should consider that because right now Jake is the bag. You might get a nice bag, although you just fought Anthony Joshua, so you a bag too. So you might not really need Jake. That's why you're not interested in it. But I think together y'all might be able to put something. Y'all might be able to put something good together. They filled up where the Dallas Cowboys play 70,000 people and 60 million people at least tried to watch with that iffy stream. Thank you, Netflix. The Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, which actually was probably the third or maybe even the worst fight we saw that night. Even the first fight, which had butt hunching in it, which was some weird shit. But anyway, was might have even been better than that, even though that wasn't a great fight either. But them two girls tore the roof off the joint, and the welterweight championship fight, the WBC welterweight championship was on the line that night too, and that was an outstanding fight that ended up in a draw. Now the ladies' fight ended up in a controversial decision, very controversial. We talked about it on the Mick and Mike Love podcast. So, what do you guys think of maybe Jake Paul getting on with Francis Ngannou? And should Francis even be interested in a fight with Jake Paul? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And don't forget to like and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe and check out some more of our stuff. This is your boy, the Sports Doctor Spock, Mickey Coleman, for Michael Love. We'll both see you Sunday. Peace out.